Welcome to the episode 11 Reality Podcast. I am your host, Ricky Valero. On today's episode, we are going to be breaking down episode 5 of the GOAT. 14 reality superstars moved into the GOAT Manor to face off in a brand new hilarious competition show hosted by Daniel Tosh. They will compete in over 20 challenges, earning and breaking one another's trust as they battle it out for $200,000 and the title of greatest of all time. Through 4 episodes, we have seen the GOAT eliminate 4 individuals. First episode, Joey Sasso was eliminated. Second episode, Taisha Adams. Third episode, we saw Lawrence Pete Hamilton. And of course, last week, we saw Kristen Doty get eliminated. It was a wild first 4 episodes of the show. And let's go ahead and dive into episode 5 because this one is quite twisty. All right, we have the beginning of the episode. We see Joe talking to the golden goat, which is just obviously weird. But this is like one of the first times that we really see some like strong personality out of Joe. He's been quiet, reserved, but I feel like he's coming out of his bubble, which is something that I've really enjoyed watching because he's a fun personality. He was just saying some of the most random shit I've ever heard in my life. Wendell is excited because he has plenty of alliances across the board with 6 different people, but his next target is Joe because he wants to show the women that they aren't just after them. Tech said he is lasers focused on this competition and ready to win. The girls approach Joe because they know that they need the numbers on their side. There's only 3 women, well, technically 4 women. CJ's not within the women group now because of her kind of backstabbing, but Jill, Devon, and Paulo Pau are all together, but they know that it is basically 7-3 in the household, and they need these numbers to dwindle, and they need to get them on their side. So they approached Joe, and Joe said he's playing in the middle. He just wants to play the guy in the middle, which I don't blame him at all. Our competitions today are going to be all food-based competitions featuring some of the favorite shows, stuff from their favorite food competition shows. They'll have to slice and dice their way through the format challenge. He announces not 1, but 2 people will be eliminated from tonight's show, which is crazy to think about already. You know what I mean? We got 2 people heading out of the GOAT Villa. And Tosh says, Tosh is just so funny. He's just one of the funny, like the most random stuff. He announces 2 people are going to eliminate it, and then he just runs around and makes these dramatic noises, and it is hilarious. He's just so funny. Alyssa, aka Justin, also talks about how she's not a good cook and hopes that they have a fire extinguisher on standby. They're going to be doing a yelling bee. They'll have to spell and yell a culinary term and stir a pot of risotto through the entire challenge. So they're sitting there stirring the risotto as they're spelling words. And Tosh says to make sure that nobody has a rat underneath their hat, making a Ratatouille joke, which is one of the best animated movies ever made. If you don't think so, sorry about your luck. All right. We have round 1. Jill spells lobster correctly. Reza spelled crush correctly. Wendell spelled sorbet correctly. Devon spells cereal. And then CJ spells dice. She says, she talks about, she says she will win because if you do a reality show, if you were good at spelling, would you be on a reality show? Not sure what one has to do with the other, but it was hilarious. Joe walks up saying that this is his competition because he was winning spelling bees as a kid through the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade. And he goes up to spell hummus and is the first eliminated. Joe, poor Joe, man. He was like laser focused, ready to win the competition, knowing that he kind of needed to win this competition to really stay inside the house, and is first to be eliminated. It was funny as fuck. It really was. I've laughed my ass off. Alyssa Justin spells celery, CELERARY. This was just hilarious. Alyssa's gone. Tech is gone, spelling Dollop, and Paul sticks around spelling yolk. And then Jason's word was dinner. In round 3, Jill spelled poach. Reza is out spelling based. Wendell is out. Devon slays enchilada. That's probably the word that would have eliminated me. CJ got pasteurized and was eliminated with that. And then Paulo is gone as well. Our final 3 are Jason, Jill, and Devon. Obviously, everybody's freaking out because nobody wants Devon to win because last time she was in charge, She ruffled some feathers. And then, of course, everybody's kind of rooting for Jason here because, well, the numbers game from the top, from Wendell, Tech, all those guys. All right. Jason had to spell quesadilla and spelt it wrong. It was down to Jill and Devon. Jill is out. Devon needed to spell ceviche. I would have got that wrong. I can't even say it, let alone spell it. And she said if she got it wrong, her mom would have been very mad at her. She makes her mom happy and proud by slaying it. Let's fucking go. Devon is the GOAT again, meaning she is in charge. Jason, Reza, Justin are all freaking out right now, as they should be. I just want to say that I love Justin and Alyssa. Like that, they are like truly just one of the most heartwarming, beautiful people. I have an amazing interview with Justin, Alyssa, Joe, and CJ up on my YouTube channel right now if you want to check it out. They are just the absolute delight to chat with. And I just love how Justin and Alyssa have approached the show. It's just been fun loving. Obviously, it's not the game playing that some of the other people are doing, but their personality being here just really just brought so much joy to my face. All right, team game time. Tosh is dressed as a bee for some damn reason. This is a 5th elimination challenge with 2 people going home. Devon gets to pick the team. She picks for her team. Tech, Joe, Paul, Justin, which means Wendell, Reza, CJ, Jill, and Jason are on the other team. Devon is targeting Wendell and Reza. They will have to slingshot food 6 different times. It was like tomato, lettuce, bread. They had a slingshot. Each of them had in two different zones, 3 different zones. They had to catch 2 in each zone. The person with the fastest team, they would make it to the mustard dump, and then they would pour it on themselves, and the fastest team to do that wins the game and is safe. Tech is the slinger as well as Wendell. Orange team is up first, which is team Wendell. Reza is struggling. CJ slayed the first part of this competition. Let me just say that CJ is like, she's a sleeper to win all this. If I was in Vegas right now and I was placing odds on who's going to win this, obviously Devon is at the top. But like CJ's got to be top 3 right now for me. CJ's top 3 on who I believe is going to win this show right now. It was just hilarious. And I need to find out, was the mustard duck really mustard? Because that was gross as fuck. That was just nasty. No thanks. They finished around the 11-minute mark. Obviously, they didn't reveal it because we're trying to figure out who. If they lose, Alyssa, Tech, Joe, and Paolo will be on the chopping block because Devon is safe as being the GOAT. Tech was struggling with everything falling out of the sling, shooting the stuff, and they were getting pissed. Now, this is the thing. We just saw Wendell do this and not really struggle with the sling. He struggled with the accuracy of it, but not one time did we really see him struggle with putting the stuff on the sling and then shooting it. We saw several times that Tech looked like he was throwing this competition, and Joe, Powell, Alyssa, and Devon all were like calling him out because of this. Like, you're throwing this competition. Joe really slayed this competition by catching damn near everything. Obviously, they got completed the mission. There was just no way they won. This was a lot closer than I thought it was. Orange team Wendell had 11 minutes and 35 seconds. And then Devon's team had 12 minutes and 30 seconds. A little bit closer than I thought. But if Tech doesn't play around at the beginning of this competition, they 100% easily win this competition. Like, hands down, not even close. I predicted that it would make for some interesting chats back at the house, which it did. Wendell asked Tech if he threw it, and he said no. Wendell said he's going to try and save him. Joe asked Wendell if he's going to vote for him, and Wendell says you got to buy him dinner before wanting dessert, basically. Let me just give you a brief version of it. All right, it is voting time! To be honest with you, going into this, I fully expected that Joe and Powell would go home. Like, I was fully submitted in the idea of this. Daniel Tosh is amazing, reading off of a note that has nothing on the note about them voting. The first vote was for Joe. Reza was upset because he wants some eye candy around the house and doesn't want him to go. I love Reza. Next vote for Powell. Next vote for Justin. Next vote for Tech. Another vote for Tech. Next vote for Joe. Next vote for Tech. If Tech gets one more, he's been eliminated. The next vote was for Justin. Next vote for Tech. Tech has been eliminated from the competition. Kind of surprised by that one. I really didn't, like, I don't really know what happened here. But we only have one vote left. We have 2 for Justin, 2 for Joe, 1 for Pal. Now we know if Pal gets that final vote, that Devon gets the opportunity to eliminate whoever of the 3 that she wants gone, because that's the way the game is played. The final vote was for Justin, aka Alyssa, and I was heartbroken. Pride and joy of the household is gone. I was so sad, so upset. I didn't want Justin gone. I mean, I didn't want Joe gone, but I don't really know what I want to hear. I just don't know. I don't really know. I'm just really, really, really upset to see Alyssa, aka Justin, gone. It makes me sad. Pao is very mad because her ass is always on the chopping block. She knows that Reza voted for her and she wants him out next. We've got 8 people left. 8 people left in the competition. We have Devon, we have Joe, we got Pao, we got Wendell, we got Reza, we got CJ, we got Jill, and we got Jason. I want to know who is listening to the show. Let me know in the comments who you think is going to win the competition. My current top 3 on the GOAT who I believe are going to win this show are Devon, Wendell, and CJ. Those are the 3 that I see heading to the finish line. Could be wrong, could be interesting. We got a little preview of next week. It could get a little bit dicey, but I'm very intrigued to see what happens next on the GOAT. Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of Love and Reality Podcast. I'll talk to you guys next week on GOAT episode 6.